let's talk about resistance machines. So this webinar is going to talk about the pros and the cons of resistance machines and how they kind of interact with free weights or bodyweight stuff. The stuff we've talked about before. So let's get going. So pros of resistance machines. So there's a great variety of machines and movements that we can do using these machines. So most gyms you go to nowadays will have a full range of machines that work almost every single movement that your body can do, or at least the main ones. So if you go to The Gym or a Pure Gym or David Lloyd or Virgin or whatever, they'll have machines that do your chest, your back, your shoulders, your legs, like quads, calves, hamstrings, glutes. They'll have all these exercises that will work pretty much every muscle in your body in one way or another. And that's obviously great because there's great variety across the board for all muscle groups. So if we compare it back to the bodyweight stuff where we can be limited with some exercises, with machines, we have a machine for everything. So we're not limited to that, but that does depend on your gym and what equipment they have available. It's easy to increase the difficulty on the machines. There's only really mainly one way you can increase it, which is increasing the weight. It's very easy. Most of them have got a pin. Take the pin out, put it in a little bit lower, makes it harder for you to lift. Some machines do have different grips and different angles you can hold on, which can change the difficulty level, but generally it's very easy to change that difficulty. If we compare it to, say, dumbbells, doing like a dumbbell chest press or an incline chest press, it can be difficult to get a heavier weight up to the right position to then lift it. It can be a bit awkward. With a machine, it's very simple. The seat is the same, the backrest is the same. All you do is just up the weight on a little pin and move exactly the same way. So very easy to increase the difficulty through the weight. So it also puts you in a correct movement pattern. So as long as you are setting up the machine suited to you and the instructions on the machine, you will be doing the exercises correctly. So okay, for example, a chest press, you line it up. The only thing you can do is push your arms forward in a chest press position in a movement that way. So correct movement, working the muscles correctly at an adequate weight is very easy for you to do. And as we'll say in a minute, it's great for beginners because it does teach you that correct movement initially. So as well as being good for beginners in the way that it teaches you to move forward and backwards, but it's also great to build confidence within that movement, within the gym, because there's not much that can go wrong when you use a machine. Like I said, once you're set up correctly and you're moving it, you're doing the right thing. There's nothing embarrassing, there's nothing that can go wrong. It's a very good confident building piece of kit to use and to increase your weight. So you'll feel confident in how strong you are with the weight you're lifting, in the movement that you're doing and how it should feel. So when you go onto a barbell or a dumbbell, you know roughly what that muscle should be doing, the movement it should be doing, and how it should be feeling. So it just builds that overall confidence for you in the gym, towards the weights area without going to the free weights, and just in the movement in general. So it's simple and easy to build strength. So a lot of people often think that the machines were built for beginners to the gym because it is simple, it's easy, it's less intimidating, and it helps you with the correct movement pattern. But actually machines were built for bodybuilders to keep you in that single position, working that muscle again and again in exactly the same movement, to pump up those muscles to get them as much kind of adaptation as possible, to get them to grow as big as possible, what bodybuilders want. So there are a lot of benefits for beginners, but it's also designed for advanced lifters. So for this, it's very easy to build strength because, like I said, you're sat in a position, you don't have to worry about much really. All you've got to do is put the weight in and push hard. As long as your technique and you're not like shifting your weight around and like one arm's going forward and stuff like that, it's very easy to build strength. And that can carry over into, like I said, dumbbells, barbells, kettlebells, any other type of training we want to do. We can start on the machines, and it is a transferable skill and ability that we can take forward. And then there's a low risk of injury. As I said a few times now, you are fixed in that position. The machine generally puts you in the position that you need to be in to do the movement correctly. That is going to massively reduce your risk of injury. again, if we go back to incline dumbbell chest press, if you're doing it on a machine, you're sat there, you've got a seat at the right angle, the right height, the handle's in the right position. There's no setting up, it's just push and push. Easy, easy. With a dumbbell, you've got to lean up, you've got to balance yourself, get dumbbells up. Here they can be all wobbly and everything, so that increases the risk of injury. And so resistance machines are fantastic if you are unsure, not as confident, new to the gym. They're great for that because they do fix you in that position, go through the movement pattern correctly, and it's, like I said, easy to build strength and confidence in these movements. So there are some cons with resistance machines. So there's only a few, so I'm going to go in here. So you do get reduced core activation. So the massive benefit of you being in a fixed position doing the correct movement from the machine has a negative in that your core doesn't have to activate as much. If you are doing a squat, for example, your core has to be very, very engaged to control your whole torso, keep it strong and stiff. When you're in a leg press position, you've got the backrest behind you, which you can use. Your abs don't have to work as hard because they can rely on that, on the seat behind you. So it's just naturally less engagement from your core. So that is a negative. Low stabilizer recruitment. So talking about as dumbbell shoulder presses or chest presses, the dumbbells can move anywhere, forwards, backwards, sideways, anywhere. The muscles in my shoulder are keeping it nice and stiff, nice and strict to go up and down and no wobble. If we only did machines, we would rely on the machine to move us in that one nice and easy way. So when we go to dumbbells, we haven't built up those stabilizers, so our arms are going all over the place. So there's a low stabilizer muscle recruitment in machines if we do them all the time, and that's why it's good to get a mixture of everything. Machines are limited to gyms mostly, unless you have a lot of space in your home gym or garage or wherever you work out. You might get one multi-gym, but it's very, very rare you're going to have a leg press, a chest press, a pull-down machine in your garage. So it's usually limited to gyms, or unless you're very lucky, you have a massive house, you can have your own gym. And yeah, again, not really home friendly. If you had a couple of dumbbells or some bands or a TRX, great for home. You can't have a leg extension machine in your front room. It's just not home friendly. And so again, it is limited to the space available, but mostly gyms. And if you aren't a member of a gym, it's unlikely you're going to have much access to resistance machines and the benefits they can bring. So that's resistance machines, and like I said, they are generically built for bodybuilders to get bigger, stronger. So it's a very easy, good way to build strength. And me personally, if I'm ever not feeling super motivated to go work out, but I want to do something, I will just go to machines. It's a easy way to push hard without having to worry about kind of like balancing or having too much thought into it. I can just go in, get my position right, and I can just put in effort to push for 10 to 12 reps. I can rest and go again. I don't have to worry about getting the bar set up correctly, getting everything set up, like core control, everything. I don't have to worry about that. I can just go in, work hard on a machine and get out. It's a very easy way to get a good workout when you're not really fancying it. But yeah, if you're new to the gym, even if you're not new to the gym, don't be afraid to go to the machines because they're so beneficial for like coming back from an injury. Like I said, if you're not feeling 100%, ladies, if you're like around your menstrual cycle, your body is under a lot more stress. So a way to reduce that stress, instead of going for a high cognitive exercise like a squat or a deadlift, we could go to a machine to take away that, like I said, that thought process, having to engage every single thing. It's easier just to set yourself up, work the muscle through the motion the same way, but you don't have to worry about balance, coordination, stuff like that. It just helps to reduce the intensity and the cognitive thought needed, but you still get a good workout. So plenty of benefits, a couple of cons, but good to have in your workout mixed in. So you get those benefits, but you don't rely on them all the time, that you end up getting some of the cons as well. So, hope that's been helpful. Let me know if you've got any questions, and I will answer them as in-depthly as possible.